welcome to another episode of One Vannan, One Camera. We're going up to Dundee today. I was meant to go by bus up, but something had fucked up, so we're on the way to Dundee, and it's reasonably nice out here. The scenery is actually pretty nice for a train ride, to be honest. You've probably seen enough of travelling, so I'm going to put you through to something a wee bit more awesome, so hope you enjoy. The weekend that I turned 18, I had tried some acid, and I was walking along the high street. I know, but I walked along the high street and mistook a HSS hire shop that specialises in air conditioning for a sex parlour. I walked in, yes, I did receive a blowjob, but it wasn't the one I expected. I left cold, disappointed, and walked up Main Street with my cock hanging out. I've got one of them friends that lands himself in awkward situations, right? And this guy's called Callum. He wanted to sell his old camera, and instead of using Gumtree like normal people, he went for the psychotic approach using Craigslist. And within hours of the ad going live, he was receiving dick pics back, hundreds of them. I'm not judging the matter, but there must have been a cock up somewhere. We're up in Dundee for a Comic Con called Deecon, which is fantastic. It's got massive gaming venues and also cosplay, and not to mention comic sales and merch sales. And also, talking of BBC News, we've got a recent sacking of Jeremy Clarkson. Everyone's sitting there going, oh, don't sack him, like, blah, 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 right? But the only thing you've got to bear in mind is see what he did to get sacked. See, if we tried to do that ourselves, we'd get the police rammed up our arse, we'd have we'd be sacked, of course, but we'd also get employment embargo. Everybody dreads and has been talking about for years and years. And like, it's not just the punch she gave to the producer it caused the sacking. He's been racist in so many times. And also in the next up and coming month we have got the general election. And already Facebook's becoming an abyss of piss and shit because of it. Ooh, check that. Looks like we've arrived. Lego Technic 24-hour race car. As soon as I seen it, I thought I'm going to have to buy it. Well, behold, I bought it, and it's comprised of thousands of pieces, and it has quite a lot of functionality. I'll quickly show you how functional it is. See this wee bit here, it actually opens up, and you can stick a motor in so the car can be propelled of its own volition, i.e. being self-propelled. And also the doors open on this car, so I'll quickly show you and out. And when the doors pop up, it reveals a amazingly detailed cockpit with steering wheel and bucket seat. It's pretty cool, eh? And that's not the only thing, it's pretty cool. You'll probably notice that wee button up at the top. It's actually a hand of God steering system. Pretty class, to be honest. And also, I was going to show you, you can actually open up the engine bay, and that opens up to reveal an amazingly detailed engine, and that's not just the only thing it's amazing about this car. See, when the car moves, the pistons move alongside it. It's pretty cool, eh? First of all, the pros and cons about this build. You can actually build an amazingly large, highly detailed race car from tail to head, about 19 inches, and from the ground upwards is about 5 inches, so you get a lot of race car for your money there. And as I said, it's amazingly detailed and amazingly functional. It's really, really good. The price isn't too bad either. It's 100 quid. I mean, that's a bargain for any motor racing fans anywhere. And also, as I said, the functionality is great. The colour scheme's brilliant. But the only con I would say, because it's a Lego product, you're going to have to expect a few missing bits, and you'll have to have Lego's website at the ready to order your missing parts, which luckily are actually free to reorder. The only downside is you'll be having to wait about a fortnight or so for the parts to come from Denmark. The wall of fail because people post shite on Facebook and Twitter. The first fail is of Twitter. You know, job centre pluses all around the country have various Twitter pages for the area job centres, and vacancies get posted on that from time to time, but this vacancy fails to fuck. Have a look. See if that really is for a whore in Hazelhead. Could I sign up? 50 quid an hour sounds brilliant. A win. You've probably heard of the Lad Bible on Facebook. This is just so special. Wow, it's just, oh. They don't really post stuff about gaming very much, but this is just wow. It's just so good. A fail. Probably heard the recent departure of Zayn Malik from One Direction. Worryingly enough, there'd been a Twitter trend happening quite soon after that called Cut for Zayn. You know what I say to that? That's just any old reason to get your old wrists tanned, eh? Disgusting. A win. If you're a motorsports fan, maybe MotoGP even, and when you're going on Facebook and you see Valentino Rossi's recent pictures, this one in particular is just such a win. Such a warm, friendly guy. Honestly, like, that picture alone just brightens up your day, to be honest. Guys, you probably remember me doing a summer term at a student accommodation last year. This was from another student accommodation. It was actually down in London, but this picture was found on the community notice board. It's just such a win. It's beautiful. It's so creative. You probably remember the Indie Ref campaign 2014, where people were posting all sorts of stuff onto Facebook and Twitter, but this guy is such a fucking racist cunt. Like, what about his fellow, like, Facebookers? Do your research, ignore the links and bias that's on social media, and ignore the banter that's going on social media and real life as well. Don't vote one way just to appease your friends or family or even close colleagues or anything. You have to vote by yourself. That's the only bit of advice I can give you. And this leads me on to the final thoughts of this month's episode of One Vannan, One Camera.